So starting with the project, first of all, my approach was to make it more optimized, because when we scale the application, if it is not optimized, so it can really increase the overhead cost like exponentially. First starting, I have built a basically form or template, HTML template, which if I'm adding a questions and answer in the form of FAQ, I have not include applied any CSS or styling. That's why it is looking very of less styled, but we can definitely do that. Like is and we have also applied like formatting in the answer as we have in our requirements. So when we submit it, we can see in our databases it got saved. So yeah, it is a default database present in Django. Here we are updating it. So yeah, here we can see that what we have. Also, there is a JSON response, like when the data is got saved, it will respond, give success message, and gives like, yeah, your questions and answer, basically your FAQs are saved in successfully into our database. Here we can see that it has been saved in every possible language, like for these many languages. And also when we see in this is our admin page, basically administrator could really override any possible view or any possible like function. So I can delete it. I can delete this data without going into my application, without going into my project, like from the admin panel. Basically this is the one of the benefit of using Django. It is having a inbuilt admin panel. So we can see that these are our REST APIs. So here I can see that these are the all type of data present into my database, and I can really fetch that specific amount, that specific admin wala data from basically choosing its primary key. Primary key basically antically defines our data into our database, basically distincts them. Here we can see that here are the different translation of admin Schrodinger, and the basically formatted data that we can see is, and there is a gap, so it is, that's why using an escape sequence and the next line. So yeah, here it is a all type of like translation that we have used. Basically the defaults one are of English language, and basically these are of Hindi, Bangla, and so on. And also we can really scale it to different languages, like in my project I have, yeah, here in my project in the settings.py file of the main project, I have used these many languages, basically more than 100. So we can really use these languages if required, but for now I've only limited my project to 3 languages, because there is no such specification been there. But we can really scale this on the evolutionary basis. So for now, basically checking, and we can also perform crude operations based on our REST API that was discussed in our project. So we can delete this. It was asking for confirmation. Do you want to delete? Yeah. So now we can update. We don't see any kind of thing here. So it means that it is deleted, and this is our Docker file. Basically, this is my container. Redis new. Basically, Redis I have created for just a practice purpose. So this is my container. Here is the Redis file, requirement.txt file having all the requirements that I have used. Basically, is in this file. And yeah, here it is my like template or the HTML file. Here it is my main project file, and FAQ is actually an app, basically having a different kind of functionality. Here is my test for like checking uh, like if like for example a translation being stored into the cache memory, and if it is really asked again, so it without like pre-processing the translation, it can really give, so yeah, hi, this translation is present in the cache memory, and it will return this only without any pre-processing. So we can relate this to in data structure we have learned about uh, uh, dynamic programming. Here we, the pre-processed data or the data is which is required to process again and again, we can store its result into auxiliary storage. So if it is required, we can again give the answer based on the storage, rather pre-processing or processing it again and again unlimitedly, and really increasing the overhead cost of processing. For this, the second test file, we are checking if for example the translation is not present into our cache memory. So is it able to translate based on the Google translator that we have used? And the third one is also with the, like, if the cache memory expired, because it's having a limited time period, because cache memory is really expensive for computation. So if is it like available for translation? So these are the basically test cases. And for views, here are the views. Basically this is to like add our object into this. And interestingly, we have also used serializers. Basically it helps to create or transforms our objects from Python to JSON like response. So what we are seeing here basically is a JSON response, but first of all it got through the serializer file and it got transformed into JSON like format. So yeah, this is about my projects. And also I have tried including much more delegation part. Basically I have divided views as much as possible to really increase the readability part of code, because in the team that we don't have to work on a single basis, but we have to work in a collaborative manner. So I have included much more. I've tried my best to include much more delegation. So yeah, that's about my project. Thank you.